The strongest force isn't the one that screams the loudest. It's the one that doesn't have to. In a world obsessed with payback, comeback comments, and proving our worth at every turn, silence can sometimes feel like giving up. We've been conditioned to fight back when disrespected, to raise our voices when we're overlooked, and to strike back when attacked. But what if the real strength isn't in resistance, but in holding back? That's the paradox. Real dominance isn't gained by matching energy with the enemy, but by commanding control over yourself. That's where Niccolo Machiavelli, the master of power manipulation and political control, had a key insight. He understood something most people overlook. Control over your image, your emotions, and your reactions is far more powerful and lethal than brute force. In his book The Prince, he famously said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But fear in his context wasn't about violence. It was about shaping perception, timing, and especially silence. Today, I want to share 6 silent rules for mastering total influence. These aren't about showy boasts or mind games. They're about deliberate growth, unseen strength, and becoming unshakable. Let's start this journey with your eyes wide open, looking inward as much as outward. You'll quickly realize that true dominance isn't about controlling others. It's about never allowing others to control you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Silence is my strongest move. Before we jump into the first rule, make sure you hit like, leave a comment, share this video, and subscribe. Every part of this builds the foundation for something truly powerful. Number 1. Stop explaining yourself. Benjamin Dreyer once said, "Never complain, never explain." One of the most potent forms of power is walking away from the impulse to justify or defend your decisions. Most people are addicted to explaining themselves, defending their choices, seeking validation, trying to be understood. But each time you over-explain, you give away a piece of your power, telling others, "My peace matters less than your understanding." Real dominance starts when you stop giving that power away. Think about it. Have you ever seen someone say no without giving a reason, or make a bold move without explaining? There's something magnetic about that air of mystery, even a little intimidating. That's because power often resides in minimalism, clarity, and acting without the need to be understood. Machiavelli emphasized this. He advised rulers to act decisively but hide their true intentions. If people don't know why you do what you do, they can't predict, control, or manipulate you. In real life, this could mean walking away while others are still trying to push their narrative. Maybe you've been growing quietly, changing habits, or stepping away from toxic people, and now people are questioning your silence or your success. Don't answer, let time do that for you. Every explanation you give can be seen as a leak in the dam you're building. The more silent, the more unbreakable you become. People fear what they can't read. They dismiss what's predictable. When you move with intention, without justification, you become untouchable. It's a silent storm, powerful and relentless. Sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who walk away from petty arguments, knowing that their reactions are distractions. If someone needs to understand why you shifted, it's probably because they weren't truly aligned with your path anyway. Silence isn't weakness, it's a weapon. You don't owe explanations, you owe results. Number 2. Let their egos destroy them. Napoleon Bonaparte once said, "When the enemy is making a false move, don't interrupt him." Power isn't always about pushing forward all the time. Sometimes it's about strategic stillness, letting others overplay their hand while you stay unmoved. Ego is like a blindfold. The most dangerous types in the room are those convinced they're untouchable. The rule here: when someone disrespects you, underestimates you, or tries to provoke you, don't bother correcting them. Let them think you're insignificant. Let their guard down. Then, when the moment's right, rise. Machiavelli understood the importance of appearances not because they're fake, but because they're strategic. Appear weaker than you truly are to gain access, insight, and most importantly, to let your opponent expose themselves. True dominance is resisting the urge to prove yourself. When you don't react, you're playing on a different level. Let them talk trash, underestimate your silence, or mistake you for being inattentive. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you're quietly building your strength. When someone gets too comfortable and acts reckless, that's your cue to strike, either by matching their energy or, better yet, by mastering yours. Choosing mastery over mindless aggression is how you win the game. Let their ego create the stage for your comeback. And when their confidence collapses, they'll have only themselves to blame because they couldn't see the storm brewing under the surface. Number 3. Success is your best response. The Joker in The Dark Knight said, "If you're good at something, never do it for free." The greatest silent power move. Growing so strong, so visibly unstoppable that you don't need to say a word. There's a certain beauty in becoming so focused on your own progress that outsiders can't help but notice the silence and the results. People will toss shade, question your worth, stir drama, and try to distract you. But Machiavelli knew well leaders shouldn't waste time defending their reputation. Instead, they should let their achievements speak. Build your power quietly and let critics be silenced by your success. In the in-between phase, when you're transforming but not quite there, most will judge, doubt, or belittle. That's when most give up. But you keep building in the shadows. Don't broadcast every move, don't clap back at every insult, don't post every plan. Let your growth embarrass their expectations and humiliate their assumptions. When you level up, you tend to get quieter. Not out of fear, but with focus. Real change doesn't need noise, fake confidence does. Feeling invisible. That's fine, it's part of the process. Caterpillars don't scream before becoming butterflies. They isolate, transform, and reappear bigger, brighter, and more undeniable. Your silence is your powerful wings. Let people wonder what you're building. And when you step into the room months later, it's not because you talked, but because you've become this unstoppable force. Number 4. Disappear to rise. Marcus Aurelius said, "Withdraw into yourself. It is in the silence that you will find strength." Sometimes, the most powerful move is to walk away, not because you're weak or angry, but because it's strategic. When your growth outgrows the environment, when conversations are shallow and expectations are low, it's time to disappear. This isn't about shutting people out forever, it's about incubation. Machiavelli warned rulers that the masses are fickle, praising one day and cursing the next. True leaders learn to govern from a distance, not out of pride, but for preservation. Stepping back gives you perspective and power. It recharges your mission, recalibrates your focus, and rebuilds your strength. The world hates a shadow because when you're not constantly available, you become unpredictable. And unpredictability makes you dangerous because you can't be controlled. People will call you change, acting different, or unreachable, but that's exactly the point. Your withdrawal is your weapon. When you're off the radar, you stop being influenced by petty dramas. You start listening to your own voice. When you return, you come back sharper, calmer, more focused. People won't recognize the old you, and that's the goal. You don't owe anyone your progress. Your timing, your healing, that's your secret. Just vanish and come back better than ever. Number 5. Don't react. Record Lasso once said, "He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still." The impulse to react is human. Someone insults, doubts, or disrespects, and you fire back. But here's the truth. Every reaction is a transaction, and you always pay with your power. Machiavelli understood that emotions cloud judgment. The impulsive prince gets manipulated easily, but the thinker observes, records, and stores information for the right moment. The most dangerous player, not the loudest or most aggressive, but the most still, alert, and strategic. In every arena, whether it's work, relationships, or social settings, your job isn't to argue or retaliate instantly. It's to observe, analyze, and wait. When someone tries to gaslight or humiliate you, don't debate. Remember their behavior, trust the pattern, and use it as leverage later. When someone undermines you publicly, stay composed. Let their insecurity expose them. Your power lies in choosing when, how, and if to respond. While they're reacting to every slight, you're quietly building your strategy, leaving a mental record. Eventually, when the moment comes, you'll strike with precision and impact not because you were loud, but because you were patient. Number 6. Kill them with indifference. Anton Chekhov once said, "To be insulted by a fool is a pleasure." At some point in your growth, disrespect stops bothering you not because people stop trying, but because you stop caring. That's true dominance. You've probably heard the phrase, "kill them with kindness," but that still takes energy. What if you went even further? What if you mastered the art of ignoring petty insults altogether? That's the ultimate power move, showing indifference. Machiavelli believed rulers must learn to be unaffected by trivial nonsense. He said a wise leader should appear virtuous, but only act when it benefits him. That means ignoring insignificant slights, irrelevant battles, and anything that doesn't serve your larger goals. Not because you're weak, but because you're focused. Not every insult or provocation deserves your energy. Some things are just noise. The most powerful don't respond to every jab or rumor. Their value isn't up for debate. To insecure people, your indifference can be terrifying. They want to see you flinch, break composure, or react angrily. When you don't, they unravel. Think about it. When someone tries to provoke you and you simply smile, nod, or walk away, what do? They escalate louder, more dramatic, trying even harder. But your silence, it's deafening. It says, "I'm not on your level," without saying a word. That's real dominance, a calm, silent decision to not engage. They can talk, try to provoke, ask why you don't react. It doesn't matter. You've mastered your reactions and your peace. This kind of control can't be bought, faked, or challenged. It's earned through emotional discipline. Next time someone tries to drag you into a pointless fight, don't respond. Don't defend, don't explain. Just move forward as if they don't even exist. That's how you dominate without playing in their arena. It's not weakness. It's emotional immortality. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's the core of all 6 silent rules: self-mastery. Your silence, your restraint, your growth, your indifference, these aren't signs of withdrawal. They are the foundations of true power. Stoicism teaches us that the greatest victory is over ourselves, not others. Not from enemies, not from competitors, but within. That inner voice that seeks revenge, validation, or to lash out, master that voice, and everything else falls into place. Machiavelli showed us how to rule through perception. Stoicism teaches us to rule through principle. When you combine both, you become untouchable. So here's your final message. Don't fight back, don't make noise, don't react. Master yourself, move silently, and let your results speak for you. This is your moment to rise, not with noise, but with quiet confidence, because no one will see you coming. Drop this in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their noise. If this message resonated, if it made you pause and feel more powerful, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, comment your favorite rule, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the channel. This isn't just about learning power, it's about becoming it. Until next time, move in silence, rule with presence.